I haven't made a video in about 4 years on this car in particular, in general. But I made a promise to one of my brothers that when I got this car back running, that's another story, that I would make more content. And I'm starting that today with this video. So I've had this car since October 5th, 2020. My last video, I think, was like January 2021. Since then, this car has been down for 2 years out of that whole time because I did the classic Subaru owner tactic of not checking my oil like I should. And I was racing the car all day one night with all my homies, and I got the famous Uncle Rodney knocking at my door. And so the car sat for a year because I was trying to figure out if I wanted to be cheap and do an EJ20X swap or do a full, big boy, big money IAG long block setup. And I ended up just doing the EJ20X, but I kept playing around with that idea. So the car could have been running a lot sooner, but I kept playing around for like a year, and I finally just decided to do the EJ20. So I started running, drove good for about 2 months, and then out of nowhere, I got a low oil pressure light. So that caused the car to sit another year, because I was kind of over it, low key, I ain't gonna lie. Dumped a lot of guala into this thing. And sometimes I feel very discouraged because I'm like, I could have put this into another platform and my money would actually show, instead of it just going towards like labor and parts and maintenance, instead of having an actual proper built car. Like my 350Z, like I could have put money into that and the dollar would have went a lot further versus this. But the car is driving good now. It's currently getting retuned by Ambot, but I haven't been tuned since this whole EPA crap with Cobb went down. So now I'm going through the struggles of, he can't really tune my car that well because I took off the secondary air pump, which a lot of Subaru owners do, especially me, since I live in a hot climate. I don't really need the secondary air pump. But since I took that off, he can't really tune it properly so I can hit proper boost. So I might have to either put it on or go open source. And I'm just debating on what I truly want to do with that, because I like my Cobb, but I mean, it seems like everybody's saying, open source is the wave. So I might have to figure out a proper way to get that set up. And I've been discouraged with this car. I love it to death. And then I also hate it just as much as I love it. But when it runs good. And like, I just got through driving it on some back roads just now, just for fun. Even though I can't really go above like 8 PSI right now, but it's still just as enjoyable as if I'm hitting like 20 PSI. The car just handles perfectly, sounds perfectly. The external wastegate, the Tomei catback, the NVIDIA catless downpipe, everything just works in perfect harmony. And as much as I get tired of spending money on this car, I just can't really foresee myself getting rid of it, even though I know that would be the adult decision. But it's almost paid off, and I'm just like, we should probably just keep this thing and live out my childhood dreams of, seeing how far I can go with it. Or we could get rid of it and get an STI, but I like the VA. But not as much as I like the hatch. And I don't want to get a STI hatch because I feel like that's stupid, because I'm like, it's the same platform. So I would kind of have to upgrade to the VA in a way, just to have something different. But I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to do that. But as of this moment, I mean, it's running good. I'm just trying to stay headstrong and not get discouraged by, you know, the Subaru stigma, and not getting discouraged by not having 500 wheel horsepower like everybody else these days. And just staying in my lane and just trying to keep this thing properly built and alive and go from there. And I guess make my 350Z the fast car someday. So I guess that'll be the fast car, and this will be like where it's at right now, which is probably barely over 300 wheel with this current turbo setup. That's another story. So my BCP turbo is out of commission right now, so I have to get that rebuilt at Boost Lab in Tampa. So I'm currently running a stock no name brand VF52 turbo, and it sounds good, it spools good, but you know, I do miss that big rush I got from the BCP. So I'm gonna get that rebuilt someday. I want to do the T51 mod if it's possible, to get even more turbo noises going, and just go from there really. But yeah, so this is the start again and again to the channel, and see how dedicated I can stay to it. Hopefully I can just drop something every week. That's the plan. And yeah, till next time.